Okay, back to the divine law of God. Sorry, I got my iPhone hanging from my rear view. It's better. I don't have to hold it that way. So, sorry, you're going to have to swaggle while I talk here. God, through his second person, his Son, Jesus Christ, established the church on earth, which is the Catholic Church. And through this institution is set up to teach, rule, and sanctify. And as we know from Holy Scripture, and what St. Paul and Moses and the prophets throughout the whole Bible refers to homosexual activity as an abomination before God. In fact, it is one of the 3 sins that cries to heaven for vengeance. That's not what God intended. That's not what he created. That's not what he ordained and set forth when he created it. So therefore, it's going to piss him off. That's what we're talking about. Now, when homosexuality pisses God off and he decides that he's going to punish those people doing that, he's going to take us out with him, those who aren't doing it. Not to say I'm innocent in my sins, because I am a sinner and I am not innocent. And the good get punished with the bad, and I accept that if that's what God has ordained. His will be done. Fiat tua voluntas. Fiat tua voluntas. His will be done. But anyway, fiat voluntas tua. Excuse me. His will be done. Fiat voluntas tua. His will be done. So anyway, you can't be running around doing that. And I don't care how far you say we've progressed. I love how people say, we are in the year 2010, and I can't believe that we still are getting flack for homosexual activity. Meaning, I can't believe there's still Christians out there. I can't believe people still have those kind of morals. I'm sorry. Being gay is a choice. And you can say all day it's not a choice because of the implications of making that decision, because you say it pariahs you in society, and it's a detriment, and it's bad, and da-da-da-da-da. But let me tell you this. It's a decision made because it requires an act of the intellect and assent of the will. That involves a choice there. People don't choose to be male or female. They're born that way. They can't help that. People don't choose to have cancer. People don't choose to have, heart disease, obviously through diet and exercise, whatever. But there are things people don't choose to be. But one of them that people do choose to be is homosexual. Now, whether you are tempted with that or not, I guess is whatever. Some men are tempted in other ways, and that's our trials of life and something we have to put up with. But homosexuality is not something that you're born with and say, this is what I need to do. It's something that you might be tempted to want to do and then decide to do it. But I'm sorry, you go through something when you decide, I want to be gay. And I as a man, and every man as a man, knows that if they wanted to be gay, they could go out and they could be gay and they could be full-blown homosexual. Because once they start doing the men and being with the men and acting like it, you're going to get possessed by a devil that's specific for that, and you'll be just as gay as everybody else. And you can choose not to be gay after that. There's many people who have been gay and are no longer gay because it's a choice. And I love how everyone brings up they don't choose this, they're born that way and they can't help themselves, but they never ever admit that we have precedent of people who claim to have been gay, born gay, who are no longer gay. And there's a case that a woman who thought she was gay, whatever, who said she was gay, she had a baby boy biologically herself with her quote gay partner. And she found Jesus Christ and realized what was going on, and she's now Christian and renounced that kind of lifestyle. It was with him, and I think she's with a man now. And we all know this case. Her lesbian quote partner, got custody of her child. That is an abomination, just like homosexuality. And you can call me a bigot all day long. I'm not you know, I understand people have problems and people do things that are stupid. I'm one of those people. I do stupid stuff all the time. I get tempted to do things, and I've been stupid and done them. But it still doesn't mean it's right, and it still doesn't mean it needs to be socially acceptable, and it still doesn't mean I was born that way and I didn't have a choice. And that is the point I'm trying to make. I'm not attacking these people because of who they are. It is because of what they have chosen to do, what they are imposing on our society as a legitimate act and a legitimate lifestyle. That is what pisses us off. Because we all know dang well that people aren't born that way. We all know dang well it's wrong. We all know dang well it ain't right. It's disgusting. It ain't right. And I'm sorry. I am sorry about these kids killing themselves and all of this going on. I really do. But I want to bring up one point. The Rutgers kid. If for some reason he would have been heterosexual and his buddies would have taped him doing a heterosexual act with a female, I guarantee you he would not have killed himself. He might have been very embarrassed and very upset, but because of the social acceptance of heterosexual relationships, I think that he would have gotten over it and would have recovered. Maybe not, I could be wrong, but it's just a theory that I'm putting forth due to the ostracize and there's a word I'm looking for that I can't articulate right now, but there's a stigma, excuse me. Due to the stigma attached to homosexuality, and because he knew it was wrong, he knew it was embarrassing, he knew what the implications of doing something that wrong would be, that's why he killed himself. He felt that bad. I mean, you're talking about an act, homosexuality and sodomy. You're talking about acts that historically, those are capital crimes against society. In Rome in 1670, if you were caught committing sodomy, you would have been burnt at the stake. Because that's how frickin' evil and frickin' wrong it is. That's what we're talking about here. It has nothing to do with he's born that way and social acceptance. I'm sorry, I don't want to see my kid, I don't want my son to see all these men walking around effeminate, holding hands, and I'm not going to tell him ever in my life that that is okay, and that's how God made them, and that's what God intended. Wrong, wrong. I'm sorry, that's not happening. Look at history. And there's no precedent in any historical record that homosexuality has ever been accepted by the ecclesiastical or civil authorities ever. That is my point.